Hello there. And for some reason, I decided to rank all of the Call of Duty Zombies maps. I don't know why I'm doing this, to be honest. But yeah, it's 7 in the morning and I haven't slept yet, so let's do this. To make it easier and a little bit more coherent, I'm going to do this in release order. So, yeah. That means we're starting off with Nacht or Untoten. Now the thing about Nacht, I'm not going to really care if it was the first map, okay? Whether it was the first map released or the last map released, the quality of the map doesn't change. So, keeping in mind that it was the first map and I can't really expect much of it, it's a C tier map. Okay, because it lacks everything that future maps all had. No power, no perks, no pack punch, no Easter egg, no characters. It had nothing. The reason it's in C tier, not anywhere lower, is because I can still play this map and have fun. I remember when this map first came out, me and my friends would stay up all night playing just this map. And we weren't bored. So how a map like Nacht or Untoten can do that with having nothing, it's an accomplishment. It's not a great map by any means, but it is definitely not a bad map. On the other spectrum, Verrückt. Verrückt is a D tier map. I think Verrückt is honestly a downgrade. I mean, sure, it added perks and everything and power and all that, and traps. But the actual map design, not the aesthetics, but the area in which you can move around, I think it is among the worst. Because some maps are difficult, but the challenge kind of adds to the fun. Verrückt is just hard. It's just a difficult map. You're not having fun. Every round is a struggle, and that's... Sure, I respect the challenge of it, but other maps also have the challenge and are just better. You can actually have fun with it. Verrückt, I don't know. I've never had fun with Verrückt, so... Sorry. And Shinonuma... I like Shinonuma. Shinonuma was always my favorite back in World at War. And also, I'm not taking into account the Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 3 remasters, because they're the same fucking map. I mean, I will for Der Riese, but for the other three, I won't. So Shinonuma, I'm also going to put in C tier. Because, I mean, all Shinonuma kind of revolutionized was they gave us a wonder weapon. And I'm not saying every map needs to, come out with all these big changes, whatever. But Shinonuma was, in my words, the best versions of Nacht and Verrückt. Nacht introduced us to the whole zombies experience. Verrückt introduced us to perks, and Shinonuma was kind of like a culmination of all of that. And it's a fine map. I love Shinonuma. It's always been my favorite back on World at War. But compared to what we have now, it's sitting comfortably at C tier. Now, Der Riese, on the other hand, that's an A tier map. In World at War, this is the only time I'm mentioning remasters. World at War, Der Riese, it had one fatal flaw. When you have the Wonder Waff, you shoot yourself, you lose your jug. That's game breaking. Der Riese on World at War is unplayable. I don't play it. Der Riese on Black Ops 1, it just fixed all those problems. However, I hate Black Ops 1 weapons. When Black Ops 3 came out with the Giant, that I think is the definitive Der Riese experience. And there's a reason that a map like Derice has come back time and time again. It is just, it's impeccable in its map design. Every area flows with one another. So many good spots to survive. It revolutionized Pack-a-Punch. Zombies wouldn't be where it was if Derice had failed. And that's what I think is important about this map. So, yeah. Comfortably at 8 tier. So what's after this? Kino Toten. Yeah. Kino's a B tier map. Now, I'm pretty sure this is probably my most played map. I mean, this I'm guessing this is everybody's most played map. And it's a good map. However, two things. One, it is almost a carbon copy of Derice. What did it add? Teleporters? No, that was in Derice. Pack-a-Punch? No, that was in Derice. Perks? Been there a while. What did it add, though? It added Nova Crawlers. Nova Crawlers, I think, are among the worst zombie types to ever have been implemented. When you're shooting a horde of zombies, you're shooting at the heads. Nova Crawlers are down below, so you miss all of them. When you do shoot them, they emit this gas that either A, blinds and hurts you, or B, kills the zombies you were trying to save. They add nothing to the map. They are a senseless annoyance. And that's why I think Kino Toten is worse than Derice. But still, it has the same kind of flow that Derice had, which was already almost perfect. So that's why it gets B tier, not any lower. But yeah, Kino, I think it's overrated, honestly. Alright, now we got 5. I'm going to place also at B tier. Because it's kind of, 5 is 2 different maps. It's either you're playing the map solo, or you're playing the map with, 2, 3, or 4 other people. And trying to play this map with more than one person, it's unplayable. I will not play this map with more than one person. You're not going to make it past round 20. However, that's why it's not any higher. But this map solo, this is a great map if you're playing solo. This is kind of like the difficulty I was talking about for Ruck. 5 is a difficult map, but it's like it's the fun difficult, And the only reason even solo this map kind of falters is why. The Winter's Howl, it's a garbage tier wonder weapon. But aside from that, man, things like the Pentagon Thief, way you get Pack-a-Punch hitting all the little levers, the teleporters, it's all great. It's all great. I don't know why none of the things that were introduced in 5 were ever reintroduced in other maps, but from what we got with it, it's a great map. And what's next? Ascension. So, Ascension. Yeah, nope. Ascension's A tier. Listen, one of the biggest problems people, I guess, have with Ascension is they say it's too easy. I could give a shit. Ascension's fun, man. That's all it is. Ascension is the purest fun in zombies that you can have. I don't care if it's easy. It's fun. You want to learn how to train? You fucking play Ascension. I don't have anything more to say. It's the best designed map there is. And of course, because some people say that could be a detriment, but I don't give a shit. Ascension's fun, man. A tier. What's next? Call of the Dead. I'm gonna do something and nobody's gonna like it. Call the dead C tier. I had two key reasons. One, wonder weapons are garbage if you're solo. And even if you're not solo, they're still pretty shit, even though the VR11 could be used. The VR11, people hate it. But if you're playing with more than one person, the VR11 is really actually fucking good. It's better than the Scavenger. But George Romero, I can't explain how much that single aspect of this map has ruined it. It's not fun. It's just... I hate that man so much. Not the real one, the one in the game, but goddamn. You can't do anything about it. Sure, you can kill him, and if you do the Easter egg, you get a Wonder Waff, but just the very idea that you need to keep doing that over and over and over again because the map doesn't provide you with any suitable Wonder Weapons, so you have to do that over and over and over again to get the Wonder Waff. It's tiresome. That one aspect of it ruins it. Aside from that, though, it's a great map, so that's why it gets C tier. But George Romero utterly fucks this map. Now Shangri-La. I like this map. You know, people always hate it because it's difficult, but I think this is probably the best difficult map. In that it's definitely difficult. It will punish you if you are not good at zombies. It'll punish you. But it will also reward you if you are good. It's a struggle, but it's a struggle that you earn. Unlike Verrückt, where no matter what you do, you're going to get punished. And 5, when you get to a certain point, there's no more you can do because the Wonder Weapon is trash. In Shangri-La, you are given all the tools you are needed to succeed, and it's up to you to use them properly. So, I like Shangri-La. I think it's B tier. There are things that drag down a bit. The whole map is very close quarters, which again kind of suits for the difficulty, but I don't prefer it. I like having at least one spot where I feel comfortable. And in Shangri-La, you never feel comfortable. And the Shrieker zombie. The Napalm zombie I like. That was a great implement. But the Shrieker zombie is just a fucking... He gets in the way. Yeah, aside from that though, man, I love Shangri-La. Great map. Alright, now. Moon. Moon's an S tier map. I can already hear people saying, oh, the astronaut, he steals your perk. Oh, you gotta wait 2 rounds to go get Jug again. Oh, the no gravity. Oh, the teleporting Novacross. Oh, the excavators. And I don't know what other problems people have with this map. I don't care about it. I don't care about any problems people have with this map. This map is phenomenal. Barring aside the greatest Easter egg in any zombies map. It has my favorite Wonder Weapon in the Wave Gun. One of my favorite training spots in the Biodome. And yeah, it's a map I can go back to time and time again, and I love it just as much as I did the last time I played it. Let's address some of the criticisms. I mean, one, the low gravity. What did you expect? You're on the moon. I think that adds so much atmosphere, and it makes the places like the Biodome such a sanctuary because you don't have it. I know no low gravity, is a hindrance, but it's on the moon. What the fuck did you expect? Another thing, the excavators. Yeah, they're a problem, but it keeps the game from being stagnant. It keeps you from just being in one area for the entire round. And then also the astronaut that steals your perks. Okay, this is the one criticism. He's very similar to George Romero in that regard, and even though I'm kind of being a hypocrite here from still placing it in S tier with such a flaw like that, but I don't care. Okay, this is my tier list. I love Moon to death, so yeah. what's the next map? There's no other maps after this, right? So it's Transit next. Okay. So Transit. I mean, Transit's a bad map. We all know this. But it's not the worst. It's E tier. I don't know what E tier means, but let's go over some things. It's a bad map. We all know this. As one of the worst wonder weapons in the entire game, the denizens are shitty. The fog is shitty. Way to get pack punch is shitty. The buildables are shitty. The bus is shitty. The lava is shitty. The exploding zombies from the lava is shitty. The color palette is shitty. The way you move around the map is shitty. The characters are shitty. The Easter egg is shitty. Is there any more shitties? Yeah. There's probably more I'm forgetting. But once you get the map running on all cylinders, unlike some of the maps that might be like 1 or 2 that are below it in F tier, but unlike those maps, you can have fun on this map. Once you have everything and you're all set up, and the only thing you need to worry about is surviving, you can have fun. You can have fun. I've had fun on this map. I know because I've done it. So no, I don't think Transit is the worst map. I know it's definitely among the worst, and it's such a heavily flawed map. But it's not the worst. And I wish we could have got Transit on like Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4. Because all the main problems with it is just because of hardware limitations. And I think if it was re-released on something more powerful, like the Xbox One, PS4, or PC, it could have been better. But we got what we got. So, moving on to Die Rise. This is an F tier map. Alright, there's no cohesion with this map. There's no enjoyment in this map. It's like someone took a couple buckets of paint and just threw them on a canvas. There's no flow in this map. The main way of getting around is elevators, and those either kill you or you have to wait and then they kill you. The wonder weapon, I don't care how powerful it is, I fucking hate it. It sounds like you're splooging everywhere. It's not fun. And you can build it on round 1. I fucking hate this map. This is the one map I will almost never play. Never. Fuck Die Rise. On the other hand, Mob of the Dead, where are you? Mob of the Dead. I'll give it its due diligence. Mob of the Dead is S tier. I don't think it's the best map like many people claim. I think there are flaws with it. Or not really flaws, just things other maps do better. But I still can't deny Mob of the Dead is a fantastic map. I mean, aside from the atmosphere and the story and the characters, the fact that they added so many weapons that they haven't added in maps before, things like the AK-47. Galil, I don't think was in any other maps besides this one. Things like Death Machine. That just added so much more, variety to the gameplay. And then you have 2 versions of the Wonder Weapon, which even though the Wonder Weapon isn't the best, it's still a great and fun weapon. It had one of the best zombie bosses in Brutus that actually rewards you. Things like the Tomahawk, which I wish they would have brought something like that back. Like a throwable kind of specialist. Like, because they did something similar in Black Ops 3, but I wish it would have been, more like what we saw in Mob of the Dead. But yeah, it it's a great map. You know why it's up there. It's a masterpiece. Same thing with Origins. I mean, Origins has the most varied gameplay. I think only rivaled by Drak. You can play it so many different ways. And the map just flows with one another so well. There's kind of like Mob of the Dead, they added so many more weapons in the box and stuff, and even the starting pistol, where you could have so many combinations. And that's one of the big things. Because if you're playing a map like Kino de Toten, even Derice, there's really only one way to play it. You get the wonder weapon, get probably like a ray gun or something, and then that's it. And things like Origins, you get the wonder weapon, sure, but you have 4 of them. And then your other weapon is a wide array of other weapons. So yeah, like Mob of the Dead, you know why Origins is up here. It's a masterpiece. So what's next? Ooh, I know what's next. Shadows of Evil. Just to make this as clear as I can. Shadows of Evil is, in my opinion, the best zombies map of all time. And it's hard defending this because Der Eisendrache is so close, and Der Eisendrache has something that'll touch on later, but Shadows of Evil doesn't have. But even then, this was Treyarch's magnum opus. This was the map that they truly consider their masterpiece. I think they do, at least. Everything about this map, the style of it, the time period, the location, the characters, the lore in it, all that works to build just a fantastic map. And then when you get into the gameplay elements, you have a fantastic zombie boss in the Margwa, because it actually, like Brutus, it rewards you for killing it, and it adds a lot of tension to the gameplay. It's a map, it borrows a lot of things from both Mob of the Dead and Origins. So it's kind of like a happy marriage baby of Mob of the Dead and Origins, and I think it works very, very well. And it introduced us to the type of gameplay Black Ops 3 had, and I think, honestly, Black Ops 3 has the best zombie kind of gameplay out there. So, Shadows of Evil, I always think, to me, it's my most favorite map. It does change from day to day, but I still think if I were to give a definitive answer, I would say Shadows of Evil is the best map of all time. I just realized how much of a hot streak Treyarch was on when they released Mob of the Dead. I mean, back to back to back to back S tier maps. They were on a fucking roll, weren't they? Anyway, Der Eisendrache, S tier. You know it is. Of course it is. If people say that this is the best map of all time, I won't argue. Der Eisendrache, I think, honestly, is better than Origins, partly because of the system it does run on. In that, so Origins and Der Eisendrache both have 4 wonder weapons. All right, I think that is one of the best implemented gameplay designs ever. It adds so much variety to how you play, and each time you play, it can be played differently. Where Origins fails is that all the staffs are not equal. All right, clearly the ice staff is the best one. It's the one that can last the longest. The fire staff will crash your game. Wind staff doesn't have enough ammo, and the lightning staff is just trash. In Der Eisendrache, all of the bows are viable. All right, people say the storm bow is the best. No, storm bow is just the best for camping. Wolf bow is good for saving you when you get cornered. And then the fire bow and void bow are good when you're training. All of the bows can get roughly the same amount of kills on high rounds, so they're all equally viable. So that's the wonder weapons out of it. And so let's get more into the map itself. I mean, a medieval castle in, I believe, Austria. Brilliant. It amazes me it took this long to get to a castle. Like, the map itself looks fantastic. There's, probably 3 really good areas to train. It's a map you just feel safe in. And it's a map you just have fun in. It flip-flops between this and Shadows of Evil, my favorite of all time, but I think this and Shadows are both just fan-fucking-tastic. And I think this is the best Treyarch has ever done. So, but they're still, Oh, fuck, I forgot Buried. Whoops. Alright, we're gonna go back to Buried real quick. Sorry, Buried. Buried's A tier. Yeah, let's just talk about Buried real quick. People say it's, one of the easiest maps. Yeah, that's true. Don't really have a dispute for that. This was one of the easiest maps, at least to get to round 70 on, because after round 70, the Paralyzer can no longer kill. I believe it's round 70 is when that happens. So barring aside from that, because that's kind of, what are you going to do? You don't have to play it that way if you don't want to. Putting aside that, they had a lot of cool gameplay features. Things like, I don't know what the fuck the community's name for this guy is, but the big fucking guy in the jail cell that helps you out, he was a great addition. Things like the witch's house. Kind of like a subtle use of the teleporters. If you shoot the fountain with the ray gun, that was a neat little, kind of side thing. Things like being able to get the LSAT on round 1, drawing the weapons. All these things just led to a really, just a neat map. A map, it's not extraordinary like the S tier maps, but it's just a solid map. Was it as good as, Mob of the Dead before it? No. But it was still really, really good. The only falter I have for it is it's too easy. If you play it, that way with the Paralyzer up on the bank with Vulture Raid. Aside from that, man, no. Great map. Great map. Back on track here. So next is Gradcro, or no. Next is Zetsubo. Hold on, because I got some things to say about Zetsubo. Zetsubo does not deserve the hate it gets. It doesn't. People always say, oh, it's the worst Black Ops 3 Zombies map. Oh, it's too hard to set up. Fuck off. Firstly, it's nowhere near the worst Black Ops 3 Zombies map. It's not the best, but it is definitely not the worst. It is comfortably in the middle. Now, the setup process. There are 2 kind of...
Burger King foot lettuce.
Where was I? There are 2 spectrums for Zombies maps. You have really simple, and you have really tedious, right? So like really simple, that would be, I don't want to say knocked because that's kind of, this would be your Derice. All you really have is power, perks, and Pack-a-Punch. Then over here you have the most tedious. You have things like Zetsubo, things like Origins, things like not really Moon, things like not really Derice. Yeah, you got Derice and Origins, and in the middle is kind of yeah, Derice and Derice. Anyway, what I'm getting to here is just because something's tedious does not mean it's difficult. Zetsubo plays almost exactly like Origins in the tediousness thing of it. You're always collecting parts for something. The shield, gas mask, wonder weapon, trials. You're always doing something. You're always moving. You're always doing something to get you something in return. And I think it does it really well. You know, if I just want to chill out, hang out, and play zombies, I'm playing Ascension. If I want to do something where I'm engaged the full time, I'm going to play something like Zetsubo. And another criticism people usually have is the Wonder Weapon is shit. No, it's not. It ain't the best out there, but it's far from the worst. And I think in the map it's in, it works very well. And then lastly, once you're fully set up in this map, you have everything you need, and all you need to worry about is surviving. This map is phenomenal. Okay? The only reason it's in the A tier, not S tier, is because it does take a while to get set up. And it's really punishing because everything costs so much and you're so limited on points. So you usually die before you get to that point. But once you get to that point, man, this map it's a hoot. It sure is. Garad Crovey. I don't care, so C tier. I'm not a fan of Garad Crovey. I'm just not. I find it similar to Verruct, in that I never feel comfortable on this map. I just remember when Black Ops 3 was in its heyday. I always played, Shadows. Always played Horizon Rock, Zetsubo. I rarely touched Garad Crovey. I just never had fun with it, man. I don't know what it is about it, but I never liked any of the new things it added. The dragons, manglers, the drones, the Valkyrie drones. I just never liked any of it. So, yeah. I know some people really like that map. I'm just not one of them. Alright, Revelations. Revelations D tier. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Revelations is if you took little bits and pieces from every zombies map, threw them in a blender, and then poured that onto a plate and said, here's your map. I get what they were doing, but it just didn't work. And people always complain about Barry being too easy. Revelations is the easiest map. If you have a day, you can get to around 100. No fucking problem. Yeah, it just doesn't work. I mean, the biggest problem is because it takes aspects of every map, there's no flow. The maps that it takes pieces from flow perfectly because of the other pieces from that map that aren't in Revelations, because it can only do a small part of it. So what you get then is just no fucking flow. The only original part it had inside the Margot and the spawn room are the only places it kind of flows. Go fucking figure. Alright, Black Ops 4. I've barely played Black Ops 4, so my opinions on these aren't probably going to be the most accurate, but I'm just going to go off the experiences I had, and they're not great. So, Voyage of Despair. You just... Similar to Verruct again. You just never feel safe on this map. And that's, in some maps, that's kind of the idea. Things like 5, and kind of like Mob of the Dead. The Voyage of Despair just punishes you. And there's no flow to the map. I fucking hate the characters. The characters have absolutely no personality. And the Wonder Weapon, whatever the fuck it's called, I forget at this point. Fucking dog shit. Honestly, as a whole, for Black Ops 4, I hate the system. I hate all the new stuff they added. It's just fucking retarded. 9, though. I'll give 9 some credit. 9, even though I hated the fucking system it was on, I still hate the characters. The map itself flowed well, and I can appreciate a well-flowing map. So, 9, with all of its faults, is still the best Black Ops 4 has to offer, in my opinion. Blood of the Dead, however, is F. And here's why it's F. Because on its own, it is a D tier map. It just has no flow whatsoever. No real sense of meaningful progression, kind of like how Zetsubo has. So on its own, it's D tier. But why is it F tier? Because it shits on a map that is, in every single way possible, better than it. Just for the sheer fact that it exists, it's F tier. Dead of Night. I'll be honest, I've only played this map once. So, take that as you will. I'm going to put it in D tier. Because I think the map looks nice. It's a great looking map. For all the hate I give on Black Ops 4, all the maps look phenomenal. But yeah, I almost don't want to rate Dead of Night and Ancient Evil because I played this map once. I've only played Ancient Evil a handful of times. And I think to fully grasp a map, you need to know how to do everything and build everything, which I don't for these two maps. So, to be fair, I'm going to put them dead in the middle. Maybe if I played them more, they'd adjust accordingly. But I don't know enough about them to actually give them a valid opinion. So, yeah. There it is. That's my list.